I got in the shower today. Wow, okay, that's how we're starting the video. All right, go ahead, Steven. I was going about my routine. I picked up the razor and I said, wait a minute. I don't have to shave. What? Playoff beard, man. You shave in the shower? A lot of guys shave in the shower. You shave your face in the shower without a mirror? Yeah, I do. It's called confidence, all right? You know what? That's the kind of reckless abandon that gets you places in the playoffs. You're hired. Hi! Leafs Nation, stand witness for Austin Lucas! Full biblical! Austin Matthews is the Leaf! Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief, mostly. Victory puppies, boys! Are you guys ready to grow your playoff beards? Yeah, you got a good start. Here, Charlie, back up. No one can see you. Oh, that's much better, regal looking, boys. Here's another one for Freddie's record and the team record. And oh my goodness, there's so many treats you're gonna get big. Leafs win 4-2 over the Montreal Canadiens. Hope you enjoyed that fist bump. There's only gonna be 16 more of them. Last game of the regular season, last video heading into the playoffs. This is only the third playoff run that I've got to do, and only the second time where game 82 was preceded by more videos. God damn lockout. I'll get some questions out of the way right away. Yes, there's going to be a playoff prediction video coming. I plan on doing at least one that is some kind of a bracket. I'm going to do one that is just a solo video on who the Leafs' first round opponent is. At the time I am shooting this video, I don't know who that is, so let's get it done. So, last night we had a live Panico Pizza Steve Dangle podcast at the Rec Room with Puck Talks. It was freaking huge. There were several hundred of you, and I got to meet a bunch of you. But I stood for about 3 straight hours during the game meeting people, so I didn't really watch the game. I saw glimpses of it, and a lot of people were probably annoyed that I kept looking at the game over their shoulder, but I also saw the highlights. Let's talk quickly about that, and then we'll get into much more important things. Not a whole lot to talk about in the first period, except for that one power play goal. Arturi Lehkonen tripping Nylander, you can't do that. Gardner to Willie to Austin to the back of the net. A tale as old as about 2 weeks ago, that second or whatever it is power play unit is clicking. The Leafs are up 1-0 because of Matthew's champagne goal. Number 34 scores number 34. Second period was so sloppy. Hyman takes a penalty, gets killed off. Right after that, Marner takes a penalty. They have to kill that off. Leafs get a couple power play opportunities. Doesn't work, but the Habs do tie it up. Sloppy breakout for the Leafs. The Habs turn it around the other way. Willie's the only forward with a shot at getting back, but he's still behind the 8 ball. McCarron and Daniel Carr bang and crash to get it in. Freddie flopping all over the place. Carr puts it in. It's 1-1 heading into the third. And it's funny, a lot of Leaf fans keep going, wow, it's meaningless. No. Okay, no. First of all, I always want to beat the Habs, unless they're tanking. But they're not anymore. I always want to beat the Habs. Second of all, I'll feel a lot better going into a playoff series against Tampa or Boston, knowing that they've beaten at least the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, out loud, I might say, yeah, but that game didn't matter. Inside, I'm going, this is fine. To the third period, we go. This play actually starts with an excellent back check by Willie, stripping the puck in the Leaf zone. Sends it up ice to Matthews, and I don't know, was anyone else concerned by the way that Matthews received that puck? This non-playoff game bores me. Just, do I have to? Yes, you do. He dishes to Jake. Jake back to Austin. Blast! Stopped by Carey Price, who I think had an excellent game, well, except for the end part. And for this part, when Zach Hyman backhands it past him, 2-1 Leafs. His champagne goal as well. Number 11 for number 11. Shout out Erica at the live podcast last night for pointing that out. And we'll talk about him more after. Leafs power play again. Kadri's got the puck in the slot, dishes it back to Riley. Riley feeds it over to Bozak, and Kadri, by the way, has shifted over to near where Bozak is. Puck heads up at his forehand, puts it on his backhand, roofs it on Carey Price. That is a nice power play goal, and the Leafs are up 3-1. Habs come back within 1 in the dying minutes, who cares? About 10 seconds left in the game. Carey Price is looking for heroics. We are going to tie this up. We are going to go to overtime against the Leafs. We are not leaving this season without a... Here you go, Patty. Patrick Marleau scores an empty netter that wasn't, but was, but wasn't, but was. His 27th goal of the season to go with 20 assists. That's 47 points. That is 1 more than he had last year. The exact same amount of goals. I told you, didn't I? The Leafs win the game 4-2. So what do we got? First of all, a little Maxine Nightingale in the ACC. The Leafs with a franchise record in points, 105. And consider this as Toronto sports fans. Between October and the first week of April, the Leafs and Raptors combined to win 106 games. Jays are off to a good start. TFC are the defending champions. The Marlies lead the entire American Hockey League with 106 points. The next closest team has 98. The Markham Thunder won the Clarkson Cup. The Argos won the Grey Cup. And those aren't even all the teams you can watch. You can watch the Furies, the Wolfpack, the Rock, OHL teams just surrounding the GTA. There's probably a ton that I haven't even mentioned. It is a great time to be a Toronto sports fan. But there's a couple things with this Leafs point total. One, the shootout is a factor. They got 105 points. They won 7 shootouts. Okay. But the other thing, Do any of you really care? I'm not gonna lie, I have to feign caring. I tell you this much, no one else in the league cares. No one who is not a Leafs fan cares about this. All they're saying is, well, in the first round, the Leafs are gonna get eliminated by whoever they face anyway. So this point total is nice, but all that's gonna matter to me is shutting those people up. Also beautiful, Freddie Anderson with the new Leafs win total. New Leafs win record. Now look, it was tied between Ed Belfour and Andrew Raycroft. I think there's a reason that no one ever mentioned Ed Belfour. It was always the Raycroft record. Nothing against Raycroft personally, but that's bad. The Leafs record for goalie wins in a season was made by Raycroft in a season where the Leafs did not make the playoffs. Think of the greats who have protected the pipes for the Leafs over the decades, and he's the guy in that year? No, that's not good enough. We need to erase that, and Freddie Anderson finally does. Plus, that's gotta feel good for him. That's gotta feel good for the team, knowing that they did it heading into the playoffs. They haven't had very much to play for. That was something that they could play for. I don't know if you heard my phone ding there. Also, a lot was made about Zach Hyman reaching 40 points. 15 goals and 25 assists for 40 points. His second straight season of playing in all 82 games, which is incredible to me considering how many bumps and bruises he's gotten. He's had to leave the game a couple times. He's gotten banged up nasty. Never missed a game. But something occurred to me. Like, a lot of people complain about Leo Komarov being on the power play. I think if Zach Hyman wasn't so good at so many other things, he might be on the power play. He plays more than any Leaf forward on a lot of nights because he's playing on the top line with Willie and Matthews, and he's also killing on the penalties. Komarov's got fourth line duty, so it's a little easier. Honestly, next year, if they want to try someone new for net front presence on the second power play unit or something, Hyman. Or you could laugh at that and go, pish posh, Hyman can't play on the power play. What has he ever done for the Leafs besides everything? I think we kind of roll our eyes at heart and soul guys because, well, you got to be a good player too. And there's a lot of cases where that argument's fine. This isn't one of them. He's a good player. Sorry, he's a good player. A very good player. He's also a good man. Dermott was another one in this one where he didn't look great to start. He played less than any Leafs defender, playing between 14 and 15 minutes, but I like that as the game went on, especially in the third period, he's getting physical, grinding. It's gonna have to be that in the playoffs because, they're going to the playoffs. I also noticed Babcock seemed to be very conscious of spreading the minutes out. Bozak led all Leaf forwards in ice time with 17 minutes flat. JVR and Marner were only a few seconds behind him. Hyman about 16 minutes, Willie about 14 and a half, Matthews just over 14. It looked like Babcock tried to keep Hainsey's minutes down, except for he played 7 minutes and 12 seconds on the penalty kill. Well, he said he wanted them to have practice heading into the playoffs. Holy crap. And you know what? I'm gonna cut myself off. I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking over the next week. Let's do it quick if I were you and go to questions. Habs fans, if I were you, I'd laugh. That's all I would do is laugh because the season ended so appropriately with that Price giveaway. Look, you got a 9.5% chance at Darlene. That's all that matters right now. I'd be calling for the GM to get fired, but it's not gonna happen. It's bizarre. Carey Price is like a blessing and a curse. You got a guy who, when consistently healthy, is the best goalie in the sport. But when he's not healthy, he's this built-in excuse for failure. Well, Carey wasn't on top of his game this year, but I think next season he'll be fine. Oh, yeah, cool, you get to keep your job. And oh, Shea Weber was out too. My goodness, of course you get to keep your job. So in absence of that, you got two things to look forward to. Darlene watch and Tavares watch. So if I were you, I'd be hoping for that. But you understand why I can't wish you luck, right? Questions. Will Hainsey survive? That's a good question. How will Ron Hainsey survive? Well, I think the answer must be the same way he did last year. Rate my Binky Bear? Well, in honor of Freddie, I give your Teddy 38 out of 10. Do you think the Jets should have drafted Austin Matthews instead of Patrick Lane? No, the answer is they should have drafted McDavid, you idiot. Can the gas from a fart power an automobile? Let me just check with the Sabre. No, they say no. What's the bigger deal? Freddie setting the franchise record for wins as a goalie or the Leafs setting the franchise record for wins in a season? Sort of already touched on that, but I mean, the shootout was involved in the Leafs franchise record for points. The franchise record for wins, that's a combination of quality and quantity. He had to play good enough to win, and he had to play enough games to win that many. That is incredibly hard, and I think that record's gonna stand for a while. Unless, of course, Freddie breaks it himself. Which, damn, he might. Would you rather play Tampa or Boston? Yes. Why do you take so long? Sleep. Did you enjoy your beer? I did. And his friends. Are you in? Yes. Are you in? Yes. Are you in? Yeah! Tampa, bring 'em. Boston, bring 'em. Anyone else, bring 'em. 2 more months of hockey. 16 teams. 15 of whom are not the Toronto Maple Leafs. And until the Leafs reach 16 wins, all 15 of those other teams are in the way of the Leafs' goal. To make it to the playoffs? No. To win a round? Stop thinking so small. Say it with your chest. The Stanley Cup! It's going to be hard no matter who they play in each of the next 4 rounds. All the Leafs need to know, no matter how difficult it is, are you in? Last but not least, I'm going to put 2 links down below. One, I'm going to put a link down below for deborahcanada.org. Consider making a donation in the name and memory of Jonathan Petra. And I'm also going to put a link to the GoFundMe page for the Humboldt Broncos. At the time I am making this, already 53,439 people have donated $3.6 million. The hockey world is a wonderful place, even in the face of tragedy. Put an exclamation mark on it. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Brand new Panago Pizza Steve Dangle podcast is up. That's the live video. Can't wait for this playoff beard to get a little more scratchy. And I can't wait to find out who gets the privilege of playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 1.